Going on, America? What's going on? YouTube, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, all those good joints. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner. What's going on, Dallas? Kimberly says, "Hope you're better." Thank you, thank you. I put out a quick short yesterday to let everybody know that I had to repair. Even cyborgs need to get repaired every once in a while. you know, fixing myself. Had to fix myself. But I'm still doing some tweaks. I should be good in the next couple of days. However, I didn't want to miss too many days because we got too much stuff to cover. We got too much nonsense going on around the whole country and the whole globe. So I would be remiss if I took too much time off, y'all. So with that being said, hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. Welcome to the show tonight. If you have not seen this number behind me, that is the number you can reach out to me through. Well, I can reach out to you through text and let you know if something strange is going on in the neighborhood. Okay. Yeah. So if you text MAGA to that number 330-974-4607, then I will confirm that you are now in Kevin's Corner. And therefore, if YouTube starts to play some games, then I can kind of keep you guys posted on what's going on. You can stay abreast. Now, finally, let me see something, guys. You guys have been doing wonderful with my little fundraiser. And according to this, we have 157 minutes before it ends. 57 minutes, y'all. So anybody who didn't get a chance, acting like it's a benefit to y'all, if you haven't gotten a chance to participate in Kevin's fundraiser, you might want to do that right now. You only have 57 minutes left. This is your moment right now. Don't miss it. Yeah, I should hit y'all with that. So if you have not contributed to my little monthly fundraiser, you are welcome to do that. The link's below. It ends in 57 minutes, according to this. It's funny how I didn't even know they had this inside of what is this? Not Cash App, but PayPal. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So it's going to restart tomorrow. Anyway, so if you got some last minute buzzer beaters, please, if you want to participate in that, you can. Now, we got to get started because with no further ado, I know time will get away from me when I start. Sometime I'm thinking, man, I got plenty of time, man. You know what? I ain't got that much material. And then next, I'm struggling to get it all in. So it's report card day, y'all. We want to see how the Democrats have been doing so far. Because remember, they said they know how to govern. They said y'all wait until we get back in. Y'all wait until we get on the wheels of steel. By the way, thank you for participating in the super chat. So we want to go ahead and give them a report card because we like to follow up. We, unlike a lot of voters, they'll just go ahead and say, all right, you know what, just do this work right here and never follow up to see just how proficient the work is, how accurate, if it's right or wrong. They just go in and say, here's some work to do. Yeah, people already giving them grades already. Don't make me laugh. My pain is in my ribs, y'all. I feel like I cracked a rib, but that's why laughing hurts. But it's so funny because y'all already dropping grades out there already. F. You prejudging the kids already? Yeah. The Democrats are kids who walk in the room. As soon as you walk in, you're like, all right, are you a Democrat? Yes. That's an F. All right, you're going to fail off grip. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and break it down in categories so that all the people who maybe don't pay attention to the progress that the party they might have voted for, they can see it. They can go ahead and say, well, you know what? Let's grade them in this area and see just how horrible the party I voted for is doing. With no further ado, though, let me get loose a little bit. I can't move too much. I got to find out what's going on with these ribs, y'all. I got some spare ribs. Too scared. This is our city. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. Now, welcome to the show. It's Democrat Report Card Day, y'all. Let's try to be fair and balanced. What will we be looking at the Democrats and judging them for today, guys? Let's start off with the economy. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and check their work. We're going to check their work to make sure we're not prejudging them. So starting off with this guy right here, the head Democrat, allegedly, who, is giving us an update on the economy and how things are going, and checks the temperature of the people who's grading them, and see how they feel. All the folks who went out and voted for these folks, it's time for you to go ahead and assess their work.
That the American people are smart as hell and know what their interests are.
Okay.
I think they know they're better off financially than they were before.
What? Is that true? Is that true?
And all-
Whoa. Did this guy just say that's a fact? Did he say it's a fact? See, because they always say that, and let me be clear, and it's a fact, but they don't really show no facts. In fact, I think we're about to find out that instead of him telling everybody how the American people feel, I think it's time for the American people to tell Creepy Sleepy how they feel. But let's continue, because I question his facts. Okay, he's been known to tell some tall tales.
All that data, all that polling stuff shows
It does?
think they're more positive about the economy than they've
And that's why you're popular? That's why you're popular? Because all that polling data shows that everybody's positive. That's why Americans right now are saying, you know what, we feel discouraged about the future. We haven't felt this way in a long time. The direction the country's going in, I'm concerned. But that man just said it's a fact, and all that polling data shows it.
been more positive about their jobs, etc.
Prices at the pump once again on the rise.
That's right. The average price for a regular gallon of gas is at the highest it's been in 9 months.
It's kind of a way of life nowadays where they aren't even surprised anymore. The gas prices just are constantly going up.
You liar. That man has to be lying, because Joe Biden surely wouldn't be lying about how the people feel about the economy and how he's handling it. So, yeah, let's continue to grade his work, because I'm a little concerned his answers aren't matching up with reality.
Polling stuff shows they think they're more positive about the economy than they've been.
It is the economy. Look at this contrast. This is April of 21, months after Biden took office. Nearly half the country was satisfied with where the economy was then. Now, barely 1 in 4 Americans satisfied with the economy.
Mortgage rates are at their highest level in 20 years, with housing prices still high. That means buying a new home is getting even more expensive.
The last time mortgage rates were this high, Amazon was still a startup and Tom Brady hadn't even won a Super Bowl yet.
Amazon was a startup and Tom Brady hadn't even won a Super Bowl yet. I'm starting to question Joe's answers. Yeah, I really am. I think he's just saying it and hoping that we just believe it. There you go. Just because you say it is, Joe, doesn't mean it is. All right. So now you're the kid in the classroom. The answer is B. Well, no, Jimmy. The answer is C. No, it isn't. It's B. You're that kid. I'm concerned right now because your answers they're not matching up with these stats.
Yet.
Oh my God.
The average mortgage rate rose to 7.09% this week. That is the highest level we've seen in more than 20 years.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending.
No, he don't want to hear
We're
that.
changing people's lives.
For the worse? Because if that's what you mean, Joe, that might be the first truth you've told in years. You are changing people's lives for the worse across the whole globe, not just the country, the whole globe, because we're going to grade him in all these different categories, all the Democrats, because they're always talking about they're the mature ones, the adults are back in control, and we're running things and things are better. So he said he's changing things, but I cannot find one thing that he has changed for the better. So right now I'm leaning towards an F, maybe an F minus or so.
The federal budget deficit is projected to be double what it was last year. And we've added more than $1 trillion to the national debt just in the last 3 months alone.
Well, Joe don't know math. Don't be asking him about that stuff. Joe just knows how to come out and say stuff, but he can't back it up with stats and data and stuff. Don't even ask him those kind of questions on the test. You put a math question on the test, he's going to say, what's this? Okay, the economy and the mortgage rates is 7 gazillion trillion minus 3. See, so we can't even hold him accountable for that because his brain doesn't do math anymore. Probably never did. So, I wonder if he's computing these stats right here and weighing in on it as he gets up here and tells us that you're doing better. You're doing great.
Our message to everybody struggling right now is this: help is on the way.
Well, with help like that, man, I don't want it. You sending all kind of help. I'm sitting there like I'm in a fire and the room is on fire, and then you sent some help, but the little bag that I'm supposed to jump, the whole middle's missing. The whole middle's missing, and the Democrats are down there. Yeah, we'll catch you. No, I'm gonna take my chances in the fire right about now because there's nothing right there in the middle of the bag. You guys are just in a circle talking about jump right in the middle. We'll catch you. Unbelievable. So he said, help is on the way. Let's see what kind of help you're talking about.
The average monthly payment for a new vehicle is now more than $700 a month and more than $550 a month for a used one. That's up as much as 32% from pre-pandemic levels. A lot of
Now, so wait a minute. Is 32 higher or up 32%? That's okay. Is that good or bad? That's bad, right? That's bad. Okay. What? Look. Just Raggedy Patty. Remember she said this?
It has to do with Vladimir Putin.
Oh, there you go. See, that answers they put down on the paper. When they are stinking it up, you know the default. All right, let's see if we can pass this one off on the teacher. Vladimir Putin's at the pump. So when you go to the gas station, you should yell up at the sky and say, damn you, Putin. That's what you should say. So Vladimir Putin, he's responsible for putting the answers down on the paper. He's responsible for doing your work, Joe. That's what you're telling me?
First time in history, the United Auto Workers Union is striking against all big three automakers at once.
Now, do strikes usually take place when everything's doing great? When everybody's rejoicing and out in the streets talking about to the beat of the rhythm of the night, dancing to morning light? Do that usually happen? Most of the time it doesn't.
Watch me.
Now to a new strike here in the U.S., and it is sweeping tonight. More than 75,000 healthcare workers for Kaiser Permanente walking off the job in several states and Washington, D.C. The union called...
Well, that can't be good. So we got strikes in the auto industry and the healthcare industry. Did anybody remember the strikes under Trump? When the chaotic, radical, extremist, white nationalist, xenophobe, homophobe tyrant was in office. Anybody remember all of that stuff? No? Okay, so now the adults are back in charge and we got strikes. We got high gas prices, high mortgage prices. Wow. The question is, are the people who voted for the adults to be back in charge able to recognize this? Can they recognize an F when they see it? Is the question.
Coalition calling it the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history.
I think they know they're better off financially than they were before. It's a fact.
50%.
Which is fact, y'all. Man, Joe won't give up on it, though. He keeps putting the same answer down on the paper. That they love it, and they know they're better off. That's a fact. No, Joe, that's not a fact. All the data shows differently. That's not true. It's a fact. Okay, well, we'll see if we can prove that that's a fact. Let's
Percent of
continue.
Americans say they are worse off now than they were a year ago. The only other time that half of Americans felt worse off came during the Great Recession in 2008 and 2009. And that...
Where's Joe getting his facts? These are funny facts, y'all. Where do the Democrats get these funny facts, man? That's what I want to know. That's a fact. So wait, since the Great Depression, we have not had so many Americans feel discouraged about the direction of the country since then? Wow. Joe's breaking records, all right. All right, who is this? Who is this? Okay, let's see, another student.
That, my friends, is called Bidenomics.
That's what that's called, baby. Bidenomics, man. How y'all like Bidenomics? How y'all like this presentation so far coming from Joe? Because he wants an A, and he'll get an A for awful.
And we stop them. But I'm under no illusions that they'll be back again. You know, where I come from, when you make a deal, you give your word, you keep it. You give your word, you say, I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do, and you do it.
Is that right? So I'm going to do what I do and do it. That's right. And do it and do it and do it all and do it and Joey. So now you hear him say, when you give your word, you keep it. Well, let's see how great they've been keeping their words about Bidenomics.
You keep it. We have the lowest inflation rate among the major economies.
Is that true?
We had a lot more to do, though. And I'm going to get those gas prices down again, I promise you.
Yeah. Seriously, y'all.
I'm going to get those gas prices down again, I promise you.
Come on.
3 days later.
Another frustrating reality check for inflation-weary Americans. Gas prices on the rise again, hitting their highest levels of the year. This is according to AAA, that the average price for a gallon of regular unleaded is now $3.88. Last year, it was 20 cents cheaper.
I'm going to get those gas prices down again, I promise you.
We have CNN.
His promise ain't worth a nickel. Not even a penny. Dang on it. He got that funny money. So you hear Joe talking about I'm giving my promises and I'm gonna keep it. I wonder how many promises he has kept since he's been in office. I think everything he promised, as we find out, was the opposite. It ended up going the complete opposite in the direction of the promise. So now the prices has gone up, and he said, I gave my promises, I'ma keep it.
Reporter Matt Egan with more details on all of this. I thought we got
This
a
is
break
CNN.
after Labor Day, Matt.
Normally we do, Brianna. Unfortunately, that is not the case this year.
Because Biden's in charge, I guess. Because the Democrats are in charge, huh? Because they're putting the answers down on the paper. They're the ones trying to figure out the problems. All right, carry the two and wait. What is our goal and objective again? To destroy the whole country? All right, scratch all that, scratch it. Okay, let's start. See, they're stinking it up. That's why. So normally prices would go down, but what? What's going on here?
$3.88 a gallon. It's not just the highest level of the entire year. We're actually a full 30 cents above the price on Memorial Day when the summer driving season officially kicked off. You can see that on this chart. It's been trending the wrong direction.
Now somebody send Joe this chart. Somebody make a paper airplane out of that and throw it to the White House. I hope it goes right in the window and pokes him in that big fat nose of his so he can open it up and see I'm stinking it up. Hey, I'm going to get a nap and Jill's going to beat me. I hope he is just as scared of this report card as I was to get some flags. Man, did your report card come today, Kevin? This year. What? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that. But I could kind of tell you what I'm getting. What? The number I heard was disconnected. Going to the extreme. So I don't get the beating that I deserved. This man right here and this whole party deserves a beating.
And folks, it's not an accident. It's not an accident.
Not an accident.
That literally is our economic plan in action, Bidenomics in action.
You're right about that. It is not an accident. It's on purpose. We're purposely destroying the whole country, destabilizing everything, sending money all overseas to everybody but you guys. So it's not an accident. Somebody said I'm buffering. Not again, Dallas. Man. All right, let's go ahead and let's check and see. Everybody, anybody else say I'm buffering? All right, let's just make sure it ain't just Dallas. Now, talk to me real quick. Let me know if I'm buffering. Going once, going twice on the buffer cam. All right. Anybody else? All right, just a tad. Yeah. No. Maybe I'm clearing up. Maybe the buffering is stopping. Okay, still buffering. All right, let's do what we did last time. Let's go off and on the way. Okay. Wi-Fi's off. Give it a few minutes to marinate. Let it marinate for a second. I came off the Wi-Fi. All right. Am I clear? Now I'm on the network. So let me know if I'm clear. Because if I'm clear, I'm keep going on the network until it start buffering. All right. Anybody? Yeah, like Indiana Jones. Okay. No buff. Okay. So it looks like the network is the route to go for now. So did you hear Joe? He said that's the direction that we're going in. Hold on. What did he say about Bidenomics? Hold on. Let me see. I got to go back now because I lost my train of thought.
Direction.
Folks, it's not an accident.
Yeah, there we go.
It's not an accident.
Yeah.
That literally is our economic plan in action.
Yeah. So all of that carnage that we just saw, all of them gas prices and all that, none of that's an accident. All of the money that's being sent over to Ukraine and all of the money spent on illegal immigrants and the supply chain that was disrupted and shutting down all of those businesses during COVID unnecessarily. All of that was not an accident. Messing around with Putin until all of a sudden now gas prices then went up and yet you're blaming him for it and all that. None of that's an accident. See, messing around with our supply chain and not to mention our natural resources that we were number one. We were exporting. We were number one, but y'all came and start shutting stuff down. No more fracking. All of that. Not an accident. So yeah, you're right about that, Joe. It's not an accident. Bidenomics is doing exactly what y'all planned it to do. Let's continue though, because it's not an accident.
Economics in action. You know, where I come from, when you make a deal, you give your word, you keep it.
What?
My campaign for president, I made a commitment.
To do what?
I made a commitment that we provide student debt relief.
Oh, well, how'd that go?
And I'm honoring that commitment today.
Yeah.
Using the authority Congress granted the Department of Education, we will forgive $10,000 in outstanding federal student loans.
Yay! All of the peanut head students, yay! Biden, let's go out and vote for him. You know what? While we're at it, let's throw some reparations on that too. I'm pretty sure they're going to follow through with that. They've been promising that too. So let's see. We're going to get some reparations. We're going to get our student debt removed. We probably going to get all kind of other treats and goodies that the Democrats always promise. All right, let's see how that went.
Breaking news out of the Supreme Court. The court just ruled that the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness plan is unconstitutional.
Someone go get the prices right. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, there you go. So that was another promise that fell through the cracks. Well, guys, let's go ahead. How do we grade the Democrats when it comes down to economics? Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and go with the obvious. Big fat F. Now, I'm sure we got dummies out there that voted for him and got too much pride or just completely ignorant to what's going on around the country to admit that they put people in charge that produce this right there. And if any of them conclude differently than this, then they're not qualified to judge the Democrats' work. A big fat F. But that's just in one category. Let's move on to another category. Let's see how they're doing when it comes down to handling COVID. Oh, man. Because listen to Joe's promises, y'all. Let's see.
You give your word, you say, I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do, and you do it.
But I'm going to shut down the virus.
Listen to all the peanuts in the gallery cheering. Woo, yeah. You hear that? I'm going to shut down the virus with his aviators. He don't deserve those. He don't deserve those aviators. So now he's going to shut it down as the people cheered. Yeah.
Well, if you're hearing more people coughing or feeling under the weather yourself, it might not be a summer cold. COVID-19 is making another comeback.
Weekly COVID-19 hospitalizations are up by more than 10% across the country. It's the largest percent increase since last December.
Oh, my.
I promise you.
Oh, my. Oh, I feel a little Rodney Dangerfield going, yeah, it's a tough crowd. I don't get no respect. So now here he is right here. I'm going to shut down the virus, not the economy. So now we got some piggybacking going on. He ended up shutting down the economy indirectly and directly, okay, because he was claiming he was shutting down the virus, but by trying to shut down the virus, he was shutting down the economy. So there you go. And that's in addition to all the bad policies that they made to cripple the economy as well. So throw this right on top. The stupid, unnecessary lockdowns, all of that stuff, that also contributed to the downfall of our economy, which right now they're trying to claim, look at all these jobs being produced that's coming back that we destroyed. So now give us a better grade because we stunk it up, shut down the economy, killed all these jobs. Now they're returning and we're trying to take credit for it. So now this man's out there talking about, we're going to shut down the economy. The COVID. And that didn't go too well either. And I ain't going to even include this promise. Remember this one, y'all, because we can't even grade him. This one is so ridiculous, I can't even grade him on it.
If I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes America. We're going to cure cancer.
Cure cancer? Don't do it. You're killing me, Joe. You're killing me. Man, I've been in education for years and years back in the day where some of the kids would put some answers down where I just got to laugh. I'd be like, I can't believe this dude just tried this. I'll never forget, man, this cat was supposed to, he was supposed to produce a report. And I guess he didn't do nothing. So the day the report was due, he goes into the lab and he just prints a whole like 15, 20 pages on how to create a nuclear bomb, how nuclear fusion works. Now, I know this guy is not nowhere near the level of understanding anything about any of this. And I told the kids to pick a topic that they, would do well with. And this man, he just clicked, oh, crap, I need something out there. He didn't even delete like the www. He didn't paste copy. He just went to the website. It was 20 pages and clicked it. Had the ads and everything on it. I get that trash and I'm sitting there like, man, what is this? It's my report. Why does it have ads on it? Huh? Those I had. Now I'm doing my best to try to be serious while I'm looking at this and hearing this dude trying to explain to me why he just went to the website, left the www dot everything as and everything, and just printed it all and trying to be serious about it. So I start asking questions. All right, so what is a nuclear meltdown? When a nuclear melts down. Okay. What happens when that happens? It melts down and then it be melted and stuff. And I'm sitting there trying my best not to bust into a full-blown laugh. That's what Joe just did. That man just came out, you elect me, I'm going to cure cancer. But that just goes to show the Democrats, man, just disrespects the people who are grading them, except for us. They know we're going to give them an F. We're going to grade it accurately. But their voters are cheered for stuff like this, man. I would have been in the audience madder than a mug if he would have promised that while I was in the audience. We're going to cure cancer. I'm like, what the? Did he just say we're going to cure cancer? This man, why are y'all clapping? Why are y'all rejoicing over this, man? But I don't even think we started on it. But there he is. You elect me, we're going to cure cancer. Democrats will say anything to get elected. Here we go. What else? Let's grade him on what? Foreign affairs, baby. Here we go.
And what we said is we want to depressurize, de-escalate, and ultimately integrate the Middle East region.
Sounds good.
Biden National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
Oh, that guy?
The war in Yemen is in its 19th month of truce. For now, the Iranian attacks against U.S. forces have stopped.
Sweet.
Our presence in Iraq is stable.
Let me go ahead and get my pen ready for an A.
Change. And the Middle East region is quieter today than it has been in 2 decades.
Let me start off with an A.
And the Middle East region is quieter today than it has been in 2 decades.
1 week later.
Wait a minute before I put this down.
Fox News alert, Israel is at war. That's the declaration from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after Palestinian militants launch surprise rocket attacks from Gaza overnight.
Where is our president?
Where is he? Oh, there he is, right there.
Anyway.
Where you going? Where you going, creepy? Where you going? Where you going? Man, that went from an A to an F immediately. A to an F immediately. So, foreign relations. What do you think, guys? Is China better? I mean, have they learned their lesson about messing with us? Somebody said I'm buffering. So now let's do this. Bring back the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna bring back the Wi-Fi. Somebody said get a diaper to change. Yeah, he does need a diaper change. All right, let's see. Let's let the Wi-Fi kick in. Let it kick in. Yeah. I'm gonna have to call up a Spectrum and complain. I want some more power on my Wi-Fi. I don't want to be jamming up and all that mess. I'm running a business here, dang on it. Got me looking foolish. All right, so hopefully the Wi-Fi kicks. Somebody said not buffering here. Maybe the Wi-Fi done kick back in. So now, as we look at the rubric, we see that China has now became more aggressive and dominant in the region and all over the globe, and partnering up with Iran and Russia and all of that stuff. We see invasions over there in Ukraine, which could have been avoided. Now we see no peace in the Middle East, all of that mess. We see all of that stuff starting on Joe's watch. We see countries in Africa talking about we're done with the U.S. because they're trying to push transgender studies over here and all of that mess. We see the debacle that took place in Pakistan, or no, Afghanistan, but they did have a debacle in Pakistan when they're trying to pay millions of dollars over there for gender studies, all of that crap. So I'm going to have to settle on giving them a big fat what F? An F in foreign affairs. There you go. So right now they're dealing with what? 4 Fs, 3 Fs? But let's go ahead. We're not going to be able to get through all the categories tonight. But I think this is a very important category, which we're going to talk about a little bit in depth. And that is, of course, border security. Now, me being a border security professor, I take my work seriously. I grade hard. Okay, I don't grade on a curve. I don't grade off of emotions. I don't grade off of kindness. I don't grade off the kids looking cute. This is a serious situation here. Now, other areas, people might not take their work seriously. But when it comes down to border security, that right there is the subject that I'm like, yo, we can't cut corners on that. I'm grading harsh. So let's see how we're doing on border security. Here we go. Buckle
We
up.
immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come. This can be done.
Holy, right off grip. This kid in the classroom don't know what the heck he talking about. Some out there where search the border. Now, I think right about now, everything is going to unravel from that statement alone. From that statement alone. What do you think all of those illegal immigrants that's been coming interpreted that statement as? I'm saying search the border, but I don't mean it. I mean, go back the opposite way. Stay where you're at. So when the so-called president of the United States has said something like that on stage, and then it happens, and yet they will look us in the eye and say, we deserve an A. How we're handling the border. It all started with that statement right there, even before. But that statement alone should put them in the F category.
Done in a bipartisan way, comprehensive immigration reform.
What specifically do you want?
Numbers of people can come in. Well, we want them to have a limit on who can come across the border. It is too open right now.
Wait. Is she a Democrat? Or is this a hardcore white nationalist, Trump supporting extremist xenophobe? Because that's what it sounds like. What? You telling me all of a sudden she trying to change her grade in the middle of the semester? Trying to pull it together. Let's see how she started off in the beginning of the semester, though.
People coming from all over the world are finding their way through, simply saying they need asylum, and the majority.
Well, I thought they did. I thought they're all telling the truth. I thought they're all just perfect little gentle woodland creatures that would never lie about needing asylum in America, would they? Would they? So now here she is sounding like Trump. Man, that's not how she started off.
Of them seem to be ending up in the streets of New York, and that is a real problem for New York City. 125,000 newly arrived individuals.
Now, maybe she went back to the drawing board after they got there and started doing the math, doing the numbers. Okay, all right, I know in the beginning I said something stupid like what we're about to hear. Because now all of a sudden, she's trying to change up her strategy and her work.
Able to come here, despite where they came from, or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country and to this state. We say you are welcome here. You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe.
You are welcome in this house. You hear her in the choir back in the day telling all these precious illegal immigrants, you are well, giving an altar call to them. Will you come? Is there one? There's room in New York. Singing to them. Let's finish hearing her sermonette.
We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you. And the richness of the culture and the diversity and the food and the restaurants that we know are going to be coming because of these efforts are beyond measure. It's an extraordinary part of our story.
Preach.
It's woven into the story of New York, and it makes us more vibrant.
Did y'all hear her preaching? Come on to New York. We got good food. This is a place where a lamb and a lion lay down together. Ain't nobody illegal in this place. Oh, she must have got a revelation in the middle of preaching.
When you come to New York, we're not going to have more hotel rooms. We don't have capacity. So we have to also message properly that we're at our limit. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else.
Oh, man, she must have got a rhema word. God said, wait a minute, hold on for a minute. How many grits? Coming on a Honda. Oh, no, wait a minute, the Lord is speaking. I hear the Lord saying to be the running around the streets in New York, taking up all our resources. We ain't got no more room. The pearly gates is closed. Boy, she done changed up that sermon 100%.
Right now, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and other congressional Democrats are here in New York to address the city's asylum seeker crisis. They toured shelters housing migrants this morning, but then a press conference was abruptly cut short by protesters.
We're incredibly thrilled and excited to be here in order to make sure that we are joined by the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, as well as several other members from across the United States.
Now, I think the congregation is rising up against this false prophet right here. The people in the audience is like, I don't like this preacher. I don't like what they say. So they're saying, send them back. While Bubble One right there is trying to still go on with her sermon. Okay. So let's go ahead and see, because at the end of the day, the people who voted her in should give her a grade. See, now, I don't know how she even ran it back. How did she pass the first semester is the question. But somehow she gets back in leadership. So as long as those people keep passing her along, she will never, ever be held accountable. Okay. I can't do that. I can't give her an A for this crap.
United States.
Uh-oh, they fighting. Those the immigrants and the illegal. Wait a minute, y'all. It done broke out in the Donnybrook up there in New York. Wow. I'm leaning towards an F when it comes down to how they're handling border security. So you got the immigrants and you got the loco people fighting. Huh.
Frustration over the ongoing migrant crisis quickly turns violent. Protesters throwing punches, kicking, even choking each other. This chaotic scene unfolded at the doorstep of Gracie Mansion on Manhattan's Upper East Side. The NYPD made several arrests.
Let me tell you something, New Yorkers.
Oh, you got Peanut. You got Peanut head out there. I think in the middle of his sermon, he got a revelation too. See, so Peanut here, I think is a hypocrite. See, he get around, his other fellow Democrats, and then he be like, all right, y'all, it's the deal here. I know I go out and I preach a once saved, always saved sermon, and I tell the people, you know what, give right now. God's going to bless you. Don't worry about anything else. God's got. And then he gets around his people like, man, I fooled them, y'all. Anyway, the real deal is the Bible says. So now here he is keeping it real amongst his peeps.
The migrant crisis taking on a new tone.
Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City.
Now, it sounds like he's reading accurate scriptures here. Now, right there, he's like, all right, these scriptures seem to be accurate. Okay, yeah, he sounds like he's keeping it real.
Destroy New York City.
Mayor Eric Adams escalating his frustration during a town hall meeting, revealing new fears as tens of thousands of asylum seekers continue to arrive in New York City.
What they're now dealing with is, okay, New York City specifically has a right to shelter policy.
Now, you see this woman? Right now, she's teetering. She's about to come onto the light. Okay, she's been investigating common sense recently. She is starting to see how crazy and ridiculous the left is and how they will attack their own folks if they just practice a little common sense. That's all. And I'm amazed that she's doing. I'm surprised Stank, or whatever his name is, Skank, whatever his name is, ain't kicked her off the show yet, because she's getting mad over a whole bunch of other stuff. How they appease and make excuses for black folks who commit crimes. And she sees the writing on the wall in many other areas. I've been seeing a lot of videos about her where she's catching some heat for just using a little common sense. Just a little common sense. So now here she is identifying the real problem in New York. I can't believe this is coming out of her mouth. Hey, man, she gonna get kicked out of that Democrat church if she keep preaching like this.
Meaning anyone who asks for shelter must get the shelter, which has actually made New York a far more desirable place for these migrants to go to. So the dominant narrative so far had been, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is the one who's busing all of these people or sending all of these people to New York City.
No, she ain't. No, she ain't calling out that devil. So now here she is. She's fighting against the narrative that I hear all the time. The Democrats in all their cities, when there's people start complaining, they come straight out to say they ain't our fault. First of all, we got to accept these people. Secondly, it's these Republican governors who's sending them up here to our city against their will. Yeah, here these people, they hit America. Okay, I'm here in America. I don't know where I'm at. Hola, where do you want me to go? Well, we want you to get on this bus. Well, where does the bus go to? Hey. Don't ask questions. Get on the bus and ship them right up there to New York, because that's the rumor. Just to calm down all of their angry voters in their areas. That's the rumor, or should I say the lie that they're pushing. See, but now this woman is bringing out the truth of what really is going on.
But he actually accounts for a small fraction of the migrants who have arrived in New York City. So I want to take you to graphic 5 here, because as the New York Times reports, after crossing the southern border, thousands have made their way to New York with the help of officials in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott has sent thousands in a campaign to provoke outrage and force the federal government to tighten border security. So he has done that to an extent. However, Abbott's buses account for only a small fraction of the people who have arrived. El Paso, a Democrat-led city, has also sent new arrivals to New York at the migrants' request.
Dun, dun, dun! At the migrants' request. Now, I saw a video of some peanut over in Chicago lying to his whole audience when they were like, this ain't right. Why we got to accept all these people? Why are they coming across this border? Why can't we send them back? Well, first of all, that's all right. They're all seeking asylum. So secondly, it's the Republicans. See, because they never want to get graded horrific performance. So somehow they got to slide in. The Republicans are responsible for this. But in reality, it's a very small percentage that is being sent by Abbott. So why would these illegal immigrants all be requesting New York?
Officials there have said, and some people have made their own way. So because of the fact that New York City has this right to shelter policy, obviously, if you're coming here as an asylum seeker, as you're going through the asylum process, as you're essentially waiting to have the ability to work here legally, you're going to need a place to stay. And so naturally, people are going to gravitate toward parts of the country that have these types of policies that are far more friendly to individuals in need of shelter.
Just like all the businesses that leave California, leave New York, leave these S.O. ran Democrat cities and go somewhere where, you know, that state is more favorable for business. That's just common sense. If I was a legal immigrant, I would come straight in like, all right, what states right here is offering us shelter, home, Vatican health care, community college, cell phones, baby formula, healthcare, you name it. That's the one I want to go to. But I think these leaders didn't think that the people would actually come.
Sanctuary City.
Oh.
You know, I'm proud that this is a right to shelter state.
There Peanut is.
And we're going to continue to do that. We have a...
Well, you hear that? There you go. See, now you see the hypocrisy? Because, see, this was back in the day when Peanut wasn't dealing with the amount of folks that he's dealing with now. So I guess he got a revelation, too. See, back in those days, he was preaching, talking about we're going to remain to be a sanctuary city because guess what, y'all?
Brand.
New York has a brand.
New York has a brand.
New York has a brand.
Just the last week of September, we had over 3,700 asylum seekers that came to New York City.
Why are you complaining, Peanut? They're coming for the brand because New York has a brand. That's right. We're going to continue to be a sanctuary city. So they coming, man. Stop whining. Your church is filling up. I mean, your message is working. You're preaching. You done told them all to come because New York is a brand. The Big Apple. Come take a bite. Wait a minute. Y'all took the whole bite. Y'all ain't leaving no apple for the rest of us. Y'all got to go. Here we go.
Increase. We were getting 600 a week, which was unsustainable. And now we're up to getting anywhere from almost 800 a week. These numbers are not sustainable.
Isn't it funny how they get these revelations? Man, they be sitting there calling that big grizzly bear over to him. Oh, isn't it so cute? Come on, here, let's feed the grizzly bear a peanut. Open wide. Oh, God, he just took my whole arm. Wasn't smart. Called the grizzly over to me. Took the whole arm. Whoa. What's this?
Immediately surged to the border.
There's the head. false prophet right there. See, problem is they all following this dude. This is your fearless leader. He set the tone, y'all.
All those people are seeking asylum.
Yeah.
They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
We can't have a rule that one can come from anywhere on the globe and come to New York City and remain in New York City as long as they want.
The church is in division. They're falling apart. So, wow, he just contradicted the head preacher. There you go. So we can't have a rule that you can come from wherever you want. Well, why not? Why not? You're a sanctuary city. Remember the Statue of Liberty? Remember all of that?
Taxpayers must pick up the cost. You know, I'm proud that this is a right to shelter state.
Yeah.
New York is out of room.
Why don't I stretch out?
And just started grinding mud on his couch.
That's what Democrats, the immigrants is doing.
Another one, you rich motherfucker. Yo, couch. There you go,
There you go. That's what the Democrats are doing. Thank you, Benny, for that clip. Yeah, you told them to come. Now they up in that mug like F your couch. Stepping all over the place, having a great time in those cities, man. Coming on trains, celebrating, hands up in the air, kicking it on the way to America. All trains, setting up their own New York, talking about start spreading the news today. We had to come to New York. New York will pay. And I just freestyled that right off the top of my dome. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and continue grading. And when it comes down to this, somebody said I'm buffering. Man, you mean tell me I buffered doing my wonderful made-up song, my freestyle song? Man. All right, so let's continue though, because Benny's about to help us out.
Across America, and you find in leftist dark blue strongholds that even
darn it, man. That's all right though. I did catch it on Facebook. Y'all missed my song, y'all. Y'all missed my made up song. Let's let it clear. Let's see if this clears up. We're running out of time again, man. I can't believe this. Every time I start my show, I'm thinking, thinking to myself, we got time. I'm sitting there looking like, oh God, we're running out of time. We gotta hurry. Okay, so let's get back to this. Am I clearing up? All right, refresh. Here we go.
the populations that have been the most subservient to you, like in Chicago or New York, populations that show you pure fealty in the ballot box year after year, give you the most hardened leftists and Marxists sent straight to Congress. Populations that can be manipulated the very most are starting to snap. They are starting to break. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it looks like in Chicago. Chicagoans have had enough. The Anderson Park is kicked out of their neighborhood field house so it can become a migrant shelter. Players showed up to protest. This is what it looks like in downtown Chicago.
So wait, you telling me now their voters are starting to see their work? They're starting to say, you know what? I think maybe this student is dumb. Yeah, we might have gave this student the benefit of the doubt, thinking that they were smart. But now they're revealing that they're dumb. So now you got the kids coming to protest. Now wait, I'm sure they're coming out to protest. Some white nationalists, Republicans who run their state and their cities and stuff, who just they want to disenfranchise black folks. I'm sure that's who they're coming out to protest. Somebody said I'm buffering again. This is my mad nose. All right, I done switched back over to the network. You know what? Tomorrow, y'all, I'm calling them. I'm calling my internets and saying, y'all better put a server right inside of my phone. Or I'm switching. I want a dedicated server in my phone. Somebody said, get off YouTube and go where? I mean, unless the people that watch me want to come with me. You know what I'm saying? I need to know where I can go. I mean, right now, folks, Rumble ain't catching up like it should. You know what I'm saying? So somebody says, good. I switched back to the network. But yeah, I done had it, man. Yeah, I want to do some rumbling. All right, but real quick, we'll try to finish that and then we'll problem solve about where I can go and how we can fix this. So now we got the little kids, the football players in Chicago coming out to protest because they're about to get kicked out of their area because they want to put legal immigrants in that area, y'all. So like I was saying, I'm sure all of these people are coming to protest some white nationalist Republicans that are running their cities or something like, oh wait, they don't run their cities? Democrats run their cities and black folks? Huh. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah. You're not going to win this one, guys.
Let's give it up. Because the folks is waking up, so let's give it up. Look at them. They got the power to the people sign out there, y'all. So, it sounds like you got to experience some hands-on issues like this to assess the Democrats properly. Because without experiencing this themselves, they probably would have given them an A. See, if this problem never came to their city, they would all be going, well, you know what? I heard about what's going on down there and you know, Alabama or down in Georgia and down in Texas and all of that stuff. And that's all because of them white nationalist Republicans and Trump's rhetoric. But now all of a sudden it comes to their doorstep and these folks are now starting to say, I'm giving y'all an F when it comes down to our immigration issues.
We have a hard no for immigrants coming in.
You hear this, racist? We gonna have us a hard no for these immigrants coming in. That sound like Trump. That sound like that man right there is a white nationalist Republican. Now I'm hoping these people are smart enough to realize that the source of the problem is not their leaders. It is them voting these people in, overlooking their F performances, giving them a pass as they produce nothing but horrific work, and still giving them a pass.
A very hard no.
We come in a community of black people where we already get the low scraps.
Tell them, sis.
And then you want to take the little scrap, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair.
That's
and
not
I won't
fair.
have it. So I just want
She said that ain't fair and I ain't gonna have it. So what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? See, so when they stick the next Democrat candidate up there, even if y'all get rid of Conehead, and they start pushing racism, white nationalism, and all of that stuff, most likely they're going to overlook all of their radical, real policies, like they overlooked the punk coneheads, and vote that person in. So I hear what you're saying, sis, but the question is it the student or the teachers grading the student?
to be clear first. To be clear,
here we go.
We are not upset with the individuals who are being allowed to cross the borders into America.
Well, that sounds like me. Now, here you got this Democrat most likely voter up there who supported Brandon at first, I guess. And she's saying stuff that we always said. I don't have a problem with the folks that's coming for the simple fact they're only doing what Joe Biden said. Search the border. They're only doing what the Democrats allowed them to do. And I can't even tell you that I wouldn't do that if I was down there in South America and I'm looking at the news and they're saying, come on, we're a Statue of Liberty and their stuff and come to this and this and that. I mean, hey, so I don't got a problem with the illegal immigrants except for when they show up with their own flags and stuff like that. But these folks right here got to realize that they're sounding just like us. And we're not extremists. We're not white nationalists. What we are is common sense people. What we are is able to recognize the source of the problem. And it's not the people coming. It's the leadership that these folks are voting in. So she's halfway there, guys. She's halfway there.
Let me make that very clear because people get it confused. We are, however, outraged with the government's response to how the government's response and our elected officials' blatant disregard to the local crisis Black families and children are facing now in our city. It is disingenuous and highly disrespectful to come into neighborhoods that have suffered decades of disinvestment, redlining, poverty, and violence to tell them you're taking resources away only to give it to another group of people that you allowed to cross the border illegally.
Now, if I was to close my eyes and rewind the clock and maybe take, as a black person, there's a dialect oftentimes and a tone coming out of other black people that you can tell kind of like that's a black person. So that's why we're able to imitate and joke about other nationalities. There's a little dialect mixed in there. But if I was to close my eyes, I would think that was a white lady from the upper middle class somewhere in the back hills of Alabama, because what she just said sound just like what all of us were saying, but they were saying only white upper class Trump supporting xenophobic want to keep the country white people would ever say anything like what that woman just said. But as soon as I close my eyes, I'm like, oh, she's black. She can't talk like that. Wait a minute, are black people supposed to be smart and common sense and look at things like, no, this can't be. And I hope the rest of them wake up.
How dare you put these poor people against us, especially because the very reason you claim they're here to seek asylum is the same reason and terror and injustice black people face today. Chicago is working on an issue without addressing the current issue that it has with the communities that are suffering.
Man, you know what? Come on over, girl. There's room at the MAGA altar. Get your butt over here. You sound like one of us, man. Boy, I tell you. Now, I wonder how they're going to spin this. I wonder how they're going to make all of these black people look like they're xenophobic. I wonder how they're going to spin that. Now, we done seen Conehead come out to the mic and try to spin it a couple times, but it's getting tough because guess what? Conehead getting sued, y'all.
And we're seeing resources fly out to help, but we're not getting that same type of support at the magnitude we're seeing now.
Wow. Common sense goes a long way. A long way. Just simply looking at it and saying, wait a minute, hold up. We live here. Our house, and I live here, Lydian. So here we are living here, and these folks are bringing other folks in, and we ain't got no problem with them. But the problem is, y'all bringing them in, giving them all of our resources, shovel them in our neighborhoods, okay, and these folks don't even belong here? Are you kidding me? That's just common sense. Goes a long way. See? So once you get past all the lies and manipulation of racism, xenophobia, and all of that stuff, common sense will kick in and show you the light. Let's continue.
Residents in Chicago's Galewood neighborhood protesting against the city's plan to house migrants at the Amundsen Park Fieldhouse.
WGN's Jenna Barnes has more.
Hi, Micah and Ray. Well, the Windy City Dolphins youth football team, they've been a part of this community for 3 decades. They use Amundsen Park and the field house for practice. They say they don't know where they will go when it becomes a migrant shelter.
That's all we have. You take this away, I'm not sure where it's going to displace our kids. We've got kids that walk from school. There's multiple elementary schools around here, and a lot of people just walk from school to practice. So if they move us miles away, we're not sure we're going to lose kids to, to the streets.
Neighbors in...
It's funny how we all know what mean. Isn't that funny? You don't even have to know what mean to know what mean. When somebody says that, all them sounds, you know. So this is a shame. What they doing to these precious black kids that they claim they love. Now this is crazy. So on top of all of the problems going on in Chicago, when it comes down to little black kids and stuff, the violent cities, the gunfire, the random killings, the looting and all of that stuff. And then on top of that, you got a good program, been around for 30 years. And these same black folks who lie to these black folks about, we're looking out for you, are now about to displace these little young black men and shove in illegal immigrants. Now, if that ain't disrespectful, I don't know what is.
And Galewood booed the idea at a meeting earlier this week, upset they weren't consulted on the plan to move 200 migrants into the field house.
Well, of course y'all aren't consulted. Democrats don't do that mess. Are you kidding me? Forget what y'all want. All right, they're going to do what they want to do. And then come to the mic and start telling y'all, you know what, it's Republicans who's responsible for this. For them sending them up here, we wouldn't have to shove them into your neighborhoods.
For up to 6 months. The city is trying to lighten the burden on police stations that are currently housing migrants. The Park District says youth and senior programming here will move about 1.5 miles away to Rutherford Sayer Park, but the Dolphins aren't part of the Park District, so the families don't know how they will be impacted. Mayor Brandon Johnson today addressed the pushback from the neighborhoods where shelters are popping up.
Now, guys, I hate to say this, but I almost want to see it get worse before it gets better. See, I'm not convinced that they're experiencing enough of reality and pain yet. See, if the pain ain't deep enough and long enough, you might forget that you got a problem. Same thing with New York. If it's just a little ow, that's funny. Okay, I think I'm good now. Yeah, and you forget about it. But when it's in there and it's digging into you, and you sitting there like, oh, every second of the day I'm feeling it. That makes you never forget it. I was put into the hospital years ago with a lower intestinal obstruction when I was 20, maybe 7 or 8. And that pain was, I want to die pain. That's how bad it was. I'm sitting there going, God, if this is your will, take me, Father. This I cannot bear. My body was shutting down, trying to cope with the pain. I'm going to sleep thinking I'm just blinking. And I was sleeping in 2-hour intervals because the pain was so severe. And do you think I forgot that pain? For 2.5 days straight. From that moment on, every time I would even get a smidge of a stomach ache, I'm like, whoa, what is this? Oh, I know, hey, I'm not even going to mess around with this mess. I know how that pain felt. But if it would have just lasted 10 minutes or so, it might not have left an impact to make me be very cautious of how you watch over your dietary tract. See, so from that moment on, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't eat that cheese, that clump of cheese right there. That might be too much. I don't want to get jammed up again. I don't want that mess. So sometimes you got to have the real deal pain so that anything that resembles it, you go, whoa. One, we can't even have one illegal immigrant in here. Not one. We don't want y'all to start this mess over again. Sometimes you need to feel that, man. So here we go.
The weight,
listen to it,
and the brunt
propaganda
of this sacrifice has been on Chicagoans, and I'm hearing loud and clear from our black residents in particular that they have high expectations, as they should.
No, they don't have high expectations when they vote you guys in. See, and that's why you guys have been continuing to stay in power, because you take advantage of their low expectations and their emotions. See, you misplace the blame and you say you're a victim. You got all these problems because of some other boogeyman outside of us who are in our cities. See, to keep you focused on looking way down yonder instead of right what's before you, right in front of you. So yeah, you talking about they got high expectations. No, you've been taking advantage of that forever, knowing that most likely all of these same people with high expectations will vote you or somebody just like you back in and forget all about this pain the next time.
Mayor says he continues to ask the state and the federal government to share more of this burden. These families say they plan to protest peacefully outside his house.
Outside his crib.
The migrant crisis in Chicago is boiling over. City officials continue to clash over what to do next. And Mayor Brandon Johnson says he is planning a trip down to the border.
Lisa, all of this is happening as...
Y'all hear that? Conehead going to the border. Conehead's going to the border. For what? You know what's going on down there. Now you just going ahead and taking advantage once again of the people's ignorance, trying to do busy work, make them think you're going down there to do stuff and investigate what's going on. I can see what's going on from here, right in Kevin's corner. So you're going down there for nothing, Conehead, except for just to abuse the ignorance and the loyalty of your voters. But let's see what this sister who's getting a revelation says about it.
Even more buses arrived last night.
More buses? 22 buses yesterday, guys. So we're talking about a lot of people here. The issue is, where do asylum seekers stay? The city is placing them all across Chicago, and it's being met with plenty of pushback from residents in these communities. Meanwhile, Mayor Brandon Johnson says he wants to head south to see what's happening firsthand.
My administration is committed to making sure that we are putting together the full force of government at every single level to ensure that these families, who, by the way, they're not illegal, they're asylum seekers.
Right there. He needs a trombone. That's what he needs. This guy right here, you hear that right there? And by the way, they're not illegal. They're asylum seekers. And he knows darn well that is not the truth. He knows that. And he's trying to lower the anger and the tenseness of all those voters by trying to slide that garbage in. See, so these Democrats right here have created policies to try to pretend or make it appear that these people are not coming illegally. They're asylum seekers. Therefore, We must accept them. It's greater than us because we're not a sovereign country, regardless of how much it destroys our own interior, destroys your life, your neighborhood, all of that stuff. It's greater than us. What are we supposed to do about it? We have to accept all these asylum seekers, which we lowered the bar when it come down to what you have to say to get in here for asylum. Of course, they're asylum seekers if you say pretty much whatever you say you're coming for qualifies you to come here for asylum. So you just pretty much made the whole globe qualified for asylum. When you say things like gang violence, oh, okay, yeah, we got that going on in our country somewhere around there. I don't know. Okay, well, there you go. Come on in. This is unreal. See, this right here is how they get away with this horrible performance and the people don't grade them accurately. See, so that's why I need to be there so I can check Conehead and expose this fool who's lying to his people, which, by the way, trying to get all serious like he's doing stuff because he feel the heat.
Seekers.
He should be taking himself to helping the community here and making sure that he is handling the crisis that's here.
Oh, so that sister wasn't buying it. She's still dropping that F on him. Nice try, Brandon. Well, they're not illegal. They're asylum seekers trying to get serious. So how about you take your butt down there and stay? How about soon as you go down to investigate what you already know is going on, we just shove your butt right on across there. Let the cartel have you, man. We like your conehead. We put you to work with the cartel or something. Yeah, shove your butt on over there. Go on now. Go on. Stay. So this sister ain't falling for it. She's still grading him with that fat F.
Handling the crisis that's here.
At this point, the mayor didn't say when a trip like that down to the border would take place, but he also says a team with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is in Chicago right now, taking a closer look at the severity of the ongoing crisis. The city is now also facing a lawsuit brought by two members of the South Shore Community Group. They held a meeting to talk about the issues they're experiencing with a closed high school turned into a migrant shelter.
The first thing that this lawsuit is about is for South Shore High School to reopen as a high school. We're calling on the mayor and the governor to freeze the language of Sanctuary City.
This group is all.
Y'all hear these folks getting out their big red marker for an F? We're calling on the mayor and the government to freeze the language of sanctuary cities. Now, if I was not smart, I would think these people are white nationalist Trump supporters, extremists. I would be looking for all of their MAGA hats. But instead, all I see is folks who are getting a real life impact of what Democrat policies feel and look like. See, sometime when you just watch stuff secondhand, you might not really understand the severity of it until you feel it yourself. So let's continue. It's like a motorcycle rider. I was talking to a guy across the street the other day. He rides motorcycles. He said, you ain't a real rider until you go down. I went down before. See, I respect the concrete now. Prior to that, I really didn't know. Yeah, you know what I always said? Well, if that was me and somebody ran me off the road right there, man, I would have the reflexes to dive and dip. And yeah, it would never happen to me. And then it did. And now all of a sudden I'm going, hey, that stuff is real, man. Hey, I'm careful. I'm cautious now. See, so sometimes you got to feel it.
Also calling for an audit to take a look deeper into how the city is spending the money allocated to help the migrants. According to the latest numbers from Chicago's Office of Emergency Management and Communications, there are nearly 10,000 migrants in shelters, with more than 3,000 still waiting to be placed. This is not including the latest arrivals from Texas yesterday.
They bringing that double Dutch bus coming down the street. They bringing them in, baby, while Conehead's going away. Conehead's going down there to pretend like he don't know what's going on. Okay, what's going on here is this. So what, these people are coming? All right, is that a fence right there that's been broken down by our federal government? Well, that's crazy. These people look like they're here for asylum. That's all he's doing, busy work. Hopefully the people don't fall for that crap.
Looking at clips like this, and they're seeing what is defined, what can only be defined as an invasion.
Wow.
Of the country that used to be
now don't y'all
known as America.
Don't y'all feel safe with this? Aren't we ready to give the Democrats a big fat A on how they're handling the border, our security, our lives, our economy, all of that. Look at this, guys. And look at that. Looks like they just opened the doors for the Cabbage Patch doll back in the day when folks be waiting outside. Soon as the doors open, they go running in just like that. But this is our border, y'all.
Okay. They used to have like some type of decency and rule of law.
Yeah, that's back in the day. And you know what hurts? Is this man right there is a Border Patrol agent. Emasculated. That man right there is sitting back watching our country be violated by all of these people. These folks do not even care that these men of authority who's used to be the job to keep them from coming across the border. See, right now, I don't see no trees. I don't see no rivers they're crossing. I don't see no jungle they're going through. All I see is straight flat land and them sprinting right over into our country because they know they don't have to do that no more. Why? Why go through that and creep up in the valleys and risk getting caught in rivers and stuff when we can just go straight up to Border Patrol because of mucus and Democrat policies and go sprinting right there in front of them? Right there.
This is what Joe Biden has brought to this nation. It is utterly despicable. The people in New York are just as pissed.
Oh,
just as
back
pissed.
to New
When was the last
York,
time you
y'all.
heard people talk to AOC like this?
So, sorry, sir, we're taking lines. Sir, we're taking lines. Sir, we're having...
Oh, that man mad.
American citizens before migrants.
Tell him, big man. Oh, it's getting physical. Don't you touch me, man.
Why are you putting other countries ahead of us?
They can't understand why this man's mad. Oh, he called her a piece of caca. He called her some guano. He called her some doo-doo. And the whole party, the whole Democrat Party is the doo-doo Dems, man. All of them. So here's what I'm thinking. If the Republicans were smart, they would use all of this to remind these people that it is not us who's doing this to your cities. Our policies are exactly the same of what you guys are saying should happen right now. They would be able to explain to these people that these Democrats are really behind it. Let's look at the policies. Look what they support. I will show every clip of all these same leaders in these Democrat cities up there talking about, come, this is a sanctuary city, and show the hypocrisy. I will show all of that. But boy, I need to be hired to help the Republicans when it comes down to how to destroy the narratives and the reputation of the Democrats. You'll never change these voters' minds if you don't show them the alternative and show them the source of the problem. You're still letting them get gaslit by the same folks who have destroyed their neighborhoods and areas because you're not coming in with a counter move. You're not kicking the Democrats watered down. You got the people open right now to receive information because they're frustrated. That right now they ain't thinking about no white nationalism, racism, and all that stuff. You got them in a vulnerable moment. You should stick it to these folks so the next time when they come out trying to cover up what they're doing to these people with some racism and all of that stuff, they will catch it. Because I will come into these cities and say, now you see what they're doing in your cities? Now watch this. I want y'all to remember this. The next time y'all vote one of them in and overlook their policies, they're going to come out and try to blind y'all with racism and make y'all forget what they did to y'all. I would have the people conscious of that. But no, our Republicans are dumb. Boy, I ain't got to talk. I'm sorry. Y'all give me a few more minutes. I missed yesterday, so I'm trying to play catch up. All right? Few more minutes. We're gonna get out of here.
Of criminal border trespassers today in El Paso, Texas. Look at that. Look at that line of people.
Democrats.
Pure, unadulterated, total invasion.
Massive invasion, but not according to them.
We will fight for it. With that?
Yes, and ultimately, I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue. The first is that there is consensus here across geography and states on increased federal resources.
No, that's not a consensus. That's not a consensus. That's not what the people are saying. You hear those people? You think they're in consensus with you? They're saying close the border, close the first. There's a consensus that the resources. No, That's why they're mad, because their resources being taken up, but not according to AOC, because she's telling them, hey, listen, you shut your mouths. Your common sense and your reality and pain that you're feeling is not the reality, okay? See, this is what's really going on.
To cities and municipalities dealing with this issue. The second is to allow for work authorizations so that folks in here can get to work and start supporting themselves as soon as possible.
There you go. Make it more comfortable for them so we can keep them there. Do it sound like the people who are yelling close the border, they think that's a good idea? Are they up there saying, instead of close the border, are they sitting up there and saying, you know what, bring more resources, help them get jobs? These folks don't even want to have to deal with jobs. They don't want to have to deal with resources. They're saying close the border. But not AOC, not these Democrats.
They are prevented from getting jobs. They are prevented from employment. And that is part of the strain on our public system.
No, that is the problem. Why they're coming. Because you're giving them jobs, you're giving them resources on all of that stuff. So their voters need to figure out who's gaming the system. It is these idiots right here. Give them an F.
The faster that folks can access the work that they're asking for legally, the better we can solve this problem. And the third is extension of temporary protected status for
Temporary protected status.
population arriving here. So with that, we thank you all.
We thank you all. Yes.
The American dream will not be bullied.
The American dream will not be bullied. You hear that? Who's running New York right there? So I don't want to hear it, New Yorkers. If y'all don't give these people an F, the next time it's report card time, then I don't want to hear no complaining. And these folks don't even care one bit that these people are yelling and saying, close the border. They're talking about giving the American dream to folks who aren't even Americans. These folks don't care one bit about these people.
Into submission today. We will continue to fight for the American dream. We will not be bullied. We will not be pushed into a corner. We will fight for these common sense solutions.
And every one of them solutions she just gave were lack of common sense. They were the opposite of common sense. This is what you get from Democrat politicians. I cannot believe this human is up there with AOC, who shouldn't even be in office, but got the nerve to talk about, I ain't gonna be bullied by who? Who's trying to bully you? These are Democrat voters. These are New Yorkers. And yet you calling all of a sudden now they're bullying you. These aren't a whole bunch of MAGA hat wearing white folks up there. These are New Yorkers who's feeling the pain, and instead of addressing their pain, you're blaming them for trying to bully you. And trying to get you guys to prevent all these illegal immigrants from receiving the American dream and all of that stuff and using common sense resources.
TPS for the Venezuelans, an extension. They already have TPS. Work permits for people that just want to work for their families. Additional funding, yes, for New York City needs more funding so we can get this done. God bless you, America. We love you.
No, you don't. You hate us. You hate your own people. You are one of the biggest lying hypocrites. And look at that big teeth chick right here. You see her? Got the nerve. Right, we love you, America. No, you don't. Not one bit. Not one bit. But hey, you keep giving them A's and they deserve F's.
The president has done more to secure the border and to deal with this issue of immigration than anybody else. He really has.
It is my testimony that the border is secure.
We have.
That is my testimony that the border is secure, even though the opposite is shown on the screen. So this is what security looks like to the Democrats.
A secure border.
We agree that the border is secure.
The border is secure.
Trump campaigned on.
The border is secure. Contrary to what your eyes are seeing and contrary to all of these illegal immigrants in your neighborhoods. But the border is secure. Even though 1.5 million people got away. Got away. That sounds pretty secure to me, huh? Right? If I'm a dummy. So you let 1.5 million people get into our country and you get up there on TV and say the border's secure. And look at this dodo.
Build that wall. Are you willing to tear that wall down?
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed in my administration.
Yeah.
Are you willing to come up and give him some of this money for the wall? Because apparently that's the sticking point.
No, nothing for the wall. We're talking about border security.
Nothing for the wall, but that means it's
well,
a
we can go through
non-starter.
this all
We can go through this all day.
Anyway, how many more times can we say no?
How many
Nothing for the wall.
times? How many times do I have to tell you? No means no. we're not going to give Trump one more penny to build that wall because walls are absolutely 100% racist. So let's see how that all aged.
Community is fighting back against the Biden administration's plans to build part of former President Trump's border wall.
How is this consistent with what President Biden pledged to do when he was elected, which is that he will not use any funds to use the border law?
Let's make this really clear. The facts are that this is not new, right? This is something that came from the last administration under the Republican leadership in fiscal year 2019, and we are required to do this. We are required, DHS is required to comply by the law.
What is this heresy I'm hearing? What are these lies? So let's make this clear. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. My bad. When it comes down to Black Gay Drop, I got to get in character. Okay? So she got the daunting task of coming out, y'all, and lying to the people. Okay, so let's make this clear. This right here was a part of the last administration, and we have to. So now let's finish hearing her say they got to do it now.
With the situation in Texas?
We believe that a border wall is not effective. You heard that from the president when your colleague Selena asked him directly. He said we don't believe it's effective.
If you have to build a border wall, but you don't think that it's going to work, then once it's done, are you just going to tear it down?
Here we go.
I'm not getting into hypotheticals from here. I'm just telling you what I can tell you.
Tell them, Black
The facts are that DHS is complying with the law. This is from fiscal year. This was under fiscal year 2019 under Republican.
Y'all hear that mop trying? Y'all hear that mop going every which way? Trying and lying at the same time. So she's trying and lying at the same time. Here she is talking about some that we have to do it now because now wait a minute. Why did it take y'all 3 years? 3 years into your administrative control to decide we got to do this. Y'all didn't know that up front? That's my question. When y'all was selling off pieces of the wall, y'all didn't know that? Y'all just got that revelation? So could it be that this is backfiring and then got out of control and you're hearing people saying, close the border, and folks up there in Chicago are mad? Now all of a sudden, hey, we're going to pretend we honored our promise to never build the wall, but at the same time, build the wall because we know it really works. But we have to lie to y'all and say, now, if it was up to us, we wouldn't do it. But we got to do it because there's a law somewhere that says it. And then you got Creepy that comes out and backs that lie up.
Leadership, and DHS is required to do this. The president asked multiple times of Congress to reappropriate.
It's greater than
They
us.
did not, and we're not complying by the law. Thanks, everybody.
I'm out.
The border wall is ineffective. Why is the Homeland Security Secretary saying that it's necessary to prevent unlawful entries into the United States?
I've not seen that full statement. I know. I hear you. I'm just saying I've not seen his full statement on that.
Said in 2020 as a candidate, so after this law was passed in 2019, that there will not be another foot of wall constructed in my administration. Activities not breaking that promise.
Well, what I can say is that there's a law that the DHS is complying with. We believe in the rule of law, and that's what we're moving forward to with.
Oh, that's what it is, y'all. We got to. It's greater than us. Now all of a sudden we want to comply with the law that DHS has to do. Listen to Creepy's response. He don't even know where he's at.
Mr. President, specific.
Who is the president? Me? You're talking to me? Okay, when you say Mr. President, I'm looking around. Who's the? Oh, me. Okay.
Try to reappropriate those border funds, especially when Democrats controlled both chambers of Congress.
Only the wall thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, man. Boy, I'm so glad I didn't vote for that dude. Who? What? Me? Oh, you talking about the wall thing?
Yeah, they passed. Well, I was told that I had no choice. That Congress.
I was told that I have no choice. When did they tell you this, Creepy? Why did it take them 3.5, almost 3 years, rather, to tell you this? Because, see, y'all were talking reckless the first 2.5. Yeah, you weren't talking about we got no choice, we got to do it. In fact, y'all were like, no, we're not doing that crap. But now all of a sudden, when you have to do it because you know it really works, it's greater than you. I had no choice. I'm weak. Even though I'm supposed to be the president, now all of a sudden, it's out of my hands. See, unbelievable.
Passes legislation to build something, whether it's an aircraft carrier, a wall, or provide for a tax cut, I can't say I don't like it. I'm not going to do it.
I think it's a terrible.
Why? You've been doing that crap your whole presidency, just signing all kind of executive orders and stuff, even though they're getting shut down by the Supreme Court. And look at this dummy, she's back.
Terrible idea. I think it's a broken promise. But additionally, let's say you completely disagree on this.
Yeah.
You could build a great big Trumpy wall
And it would work.
on the entire U.S. southern border, and it's still not going to fix this problem. And I'll tell you why. The U.S. and U.S. foreign policy is contributing to the displacement of millions of people in South America to begin with. And if we do not address the migrant crisis at its root, it is still going to continue to.
You and your party is the root. That's the whole point of my show tonight, is to show every voter that accidentally or foolishly voted for you guys. You're the problem. We're looking at the root. It is not our dang on policies with foreign and all that stuff. I'm going to skip to right here at the end. Because, see, we don't want to just think that this whole stupidity is only confined to just Chicago or New York. It could just be Democrat dumbness in those two areas. And they deserve an F. But we want to check another Democrat-ran city and see if this is a pandemic in their party.
Can't fix Latin America.
Shut up, you. I don't want to hear from you. All right, I ain't got time to hear from you. I got to go and skip past you, Miss Piggy. Let's go right to here. Here's another city, guys.
The southern border to come to Atlanta.
Mayor Andre Dickens asked for, and the city council has approved, nearly $7 million for shelter in area hotels, food, and other necessities. Fox 5's Morse Diggs joins us live in Northeast Atlanta with all the details.
The nation's mayors, they meet twice a year and they talk in between. Andre Dickens knows all about the pressures on New York City from this migration. And he wants to make sure nothing like that happens here.
Make sure nothing like that happens here. Woo, thank God for some Democrat leaders who see the writing on the wall and able to learn from their mistakes, able to look at other Democrat SO-ran cities and say, that's what not to do, right? Thank God for that, right? Woo, Atlanta just might go ahead and get a decent grade.
Nightly, when the numbers run high, the influx of migrants shown on your TV screens. It was a Texas governor, frustrated with the Democratic administration in Washington, who was first to try to change the equation and send thousands to northern cities. In New York, one of the landing spots, the bills and the population are piling up.
I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City.
I reject that notion to use language that this will destroy the fabric of America. America was built upon immigrant labor.
Dang on it. So the dumbness done spread it all the way down to Atlanta. Another S-hole about to be. Used to be a great place to go to. But this dumbness is a pandemic in the Democrat Party that needs a cure, man. So now you telling me, after seeing other Democrat dumb mayors and governors who are now going, this is a mess. You get this Democrat leader down in Atlanta said, I reject that. Saying the same stuff that all these other Democrats said until the crap hit the fan. And listen to this dummy.
Atlanta Councilwoman Keisha Waits and her colleagues supported Mayor Andre Dickens' initiative to fund at nearly $7 million a program to shelter migrants who make it to Atlanta.
I spent several years serving with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. I stand behind this mayor in terms of the decision to put this funding forward. At the end of the day, these are families. These are human beings.
Unlike the people you're supposed to be governing. See, at the end of the day, these are families. So now, you see what you got? Atlanta is coming your way. I'm just letting you know. The virus is coming your way. There it is.
The Atlanta cash, secured with a federal grant, will go to a half dozen organizations who will feed the individuals, put them in hotels, and meet other needs. The president decided to elevate some of the migrants who crossed over and give them a limited status.
Wow.
Work permits, you allow people to then, they're seeking gainful employment, not going to be deported. You're sort of part of this economy in the United States.
There you go. You're part of the economy. You just came in somehow and just jumped the line, and now all of a sudden you're here and you're part of the family. You have access to all the same stuff with the exception of what voting, even though we're trying to get that removed too.
In the state of Georgia at this point, but it doesn't bestow on you citizenship rights, right? You can't vote.
So, if you have family members who have arrived in Georgia or are headed here, check out our website this evening. We will put the full list of those service organizations who are getting the money and can get them some help from Northeast Atlanta.
Wow. Well, there goes Atlanta. There goes Atlanta, y'all. So we got New York, we got Chicago, now we got Atlanta, and these folks right here are dummies. These are the worst leaders ever. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to go ahead and grade the Democrats when it comes down to border security. What? An F to the 12th power? Negative F. A negative F to the 12th power. How far can the F go negatively? I mean, to infinity. That's what they should get. This is unreal. But Atlanta is coming your way. And after a while, they're going to be on the news at these city council meetings saying, this is ridiculous. Atlanta used to be a great place to have a good time. And now, because Democrats, everything they touch turns to crap. They're just as bad as wokeness. So, yeah, keep giving them grades and pass them along, voters. And you're going to keep getting this type of work. Unreal, man. So hopefully they will think about these things the next time they vote, but I doubt it. That's the sad part about it. Just don't bring this crap our way. Keep that mess in SO-ran Democrat cities until these people wake up. And I don't know if they'll ever. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for letting me have 30 extra minutes tonight. There's a football game tomorrow. So I'm thinking I might go ahead and go to see my buddy's son play. And then come back on Saturday because I got some more juicy stuff to talk about. So I want to thank y'all. And I think our time has run out on the fundraiser. So let's see here. Yeah, the fundraiser has ran out. So let's see. If you haven't, I don't know what happens when the fundraiser runs out. Do they not allow people to? I don't know what happens. So yeah, the time has expired, I guess. End it. Yeah, fundraiser ended. So anyway, I'm going to be back on Saturday, and I will also be uploading some clips from these live shows, and I'll be doing that tonight while I'm doing some work. And we'll resume on Saturday. How about that? So God bless y'all. God bless America. All of those who gave to the super chat, thank you. And just because the fundraiser is separate, if you want to really help out with the channel, there's still a regular, you can go through my regular PayPal or my Cash App as well. You're welcome to do that as well. But the fundraiser makes it kind of fun so we can track and see where we're at. So I appreciate all of what you guys have done, all your support, all your encouragement, all your kind words, all that good stuff. I'm going to continue to find out what this pain is in my ribs so I can laugh unabated. I want to laugh where you can see that little boxing glove thing, that little punching bag that hangs down in the back of my throat. Yeah, that's how hard I want to be able to laugh at these folks. That's how hard I want to be able to laugh. Head on the swivel, Kevin. Oh, always. Now, God bless y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Make sure you're still subscribed. I think I might chat with YouTube and find out why all of my standalone videos that I upload gets no traction. I think I might do that since I got a little time on my hands. It's unreal. The speed bag, thank you. A little speed bag that hangs down. Nobody even knows what that is. In the cartoons, we always see it just dangling in the back. But yeah, I think I might chat with YouTube and see what the deal is and why my subscribers, they're not going up. Nobody loves Kev anymore. Yeah. So we'll see y'all on Saturday. And don't forget, check back with the channel to make sure that if I upload something that you catch it. And subscribe, or not subscribe rather, but text this number, MAGA, to that number. And then this way I'll let you know when I do upload some stuff. All right. So somebody said I need to do a 2-hour to make up for yesterday. You're right. But I did go an hour and a half. I did go an hour and a half tonight. So, and depending on how much stuff we need to do on Saturday, I might go a little over. Who knows? Okay. If things are going well, we might keep the party moving. All right. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Let's go ahead and bounce, baby. Bounce, baby. Bounce, 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 baby. Where's my man hat? Yeah. Like a what? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.